Because one does not want to be disturbed, to be made uncertain, he establishes a pattern of conduct, of thought, a pattern of relationship to man. Then he becomes a slave to the pattern and takes the pattern to be a real thing. I wish neither to possess nor to be possessed. I no longer covet paradise more important. I no longer fear hell. The medicine for my suffering I had within me from the very beginning, but I did not take it. My ailment came from within myself, but I did not observe it until this moment. Now I see that I will never find the light. Unless, like the candle, I am my own fuel, consuming myself.
Using no way as a way. Having no limitation as limitation.
The doubters said man cannot fly. The doers said maybe but will try. And finally soared in the morning glow, while non-believers watched from below. Notice that the stiffest tree is most easily cracked, while the bamboo or willow survives by bending with the wind. Do not be tense. Just be ready. Not thinking but not dreaming, not being set but being flexible. It is being wholly and quietly alive, aware and alert, ready for whatever may come. Forget about winning and losing, forget about pride and pain. Let your opponent graze your skin and you smash into his flesh. Let him smash into your flesh and fracture your bones and you take his life. Do not be concerned with escaping safely. Lay your life before him.
Choose the positive. You have choice. You are master of your attitude. Choose the positive. The constructive optimism is a faith that leads to success. Knowing is not enough. We must apply. Willing is not enough. We must do. To spend time is to pass it in a specified manner. To waste time is to expend it thoughtlessly or carelessly. We all have time to either spend or waste, and it is our decision what to do with it. But once passed, it is gone forever. Always be yourself. Express yourself. Do not go out and look for a successful personality and duplicate it. Mistakes are always forgivable, if one has the courage to admit them. It's not what you give, it's the way you give it.
The stillness in stillness is not the real stillness. Only when there is stillness in movement does the universal rhythm manifest.
A wise man can learn more from a foolish question than a fool can learn from a wise answer.
Life is better lives than conceptualized. This writing can be less demanding, should I allow myself to indulge in the usual manipulating game of role creation. Fortunately for me, my self-knowledge has transcended that. And I've come to understand that life is best to be lived, not to be conceptualized. If you have to think, you still do not understand.
Preparation for tomorrow is hard work today.
You just wait. I'm going to be the biggest Chinese star in the world.
Take no thought of who is right or wrong, or who is better than. Be not for or against.
The world is full of people who are determined to be somebody or to give trouble. They want to get ahead, to stand out. Such ambition has no use for Gung Fu Man, who rejects all forms of self-assertiveness and competition. Do not allow negative thoughts to enter your mind, for they are the weeds that strangle confidence. If you spend too much time thinking about a thing, you'll never get it done. Make at least one definite move daily toward your goal. If you always put limit on everything you do, physical or anything else, it will spread into your work and into your life. There are no limits. There are only plateaus, and you must not stay there, you must go beyond them. It is not a shame to be knocked down by other people. The important thing is to ask when you're being down, why am I being knocked down? If a person can reflect in this way, then there is hope for this person. Don't fear failure, not failure but low aim is the crime. In great attempts it is glorious even to fail. Use only that which works, and take it from any place you can find it.
Fear comes from uncertainty. We can eliminate the fear within us when we know ourselves better. As the great Sun Tzu said, when you know yourself and your opponent, you will win every time. When you know yourself but not your opponent, you will win one and lose one. However, when you do not know yourself or your opponent, you will be imperiled every time. The second-hand artist, blindly following his sensei or sifu, accepts his pattern. As a result, his action is, and more importantly, his thinking become mechanical. His responses become automatic,
according to set patterns, making him narrow and limited. Love is like a friendship caught on fire. In the beginning a flame, very pretty, often hot and fierce, but still only light and flickering. As love grows older, our hearts mature and our love becomes as coals, deep burning and unquenchable.
Absorb what is useful, discard what is not, add what is uniquely your own.
I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks once, but I fear the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times. A quick temper will make a fool of you soon enough. Life's battles don't always go to the stronger or faster man. But sooner or later the man who wins, is the man who thinks he can. Ever since I was a child, I have had this instinctive urge for expansion and growth. To me, the function and duty of a quality human being, is the sincere and honest development of one's potential.
When one has reached maturity in the art, one will have a formless form. It is like ice dissolving in water. When one has no style, he can fit in with any style.
The consciousness of self, is the greatest hindrance to proper execution of all physical action.
Do not deny the classical approach simply as a reaction, or you will have created another pattern and trapped yourself there. The less effort, the faster and more powerful you will be.
Obey the principles without being bound by them.
Endurance is lost rapidly, if one ceases to work at its maximum. Only the self-sufficient stand alone, most people follow the crowd and imitate. Man, the living creature. The creating individual is always more important than any established style or system.
For it is easy to criticize and break down the spirit of others, but to know yourself, takes a lifetime.
Showing off is the fool's idea of glory. Take things as they are. Punch when you have to punch. Kick when you have to kick.
Life is wide, limitless. There is no border, no frontier.
The knowledge and skills you have achieved are meant to be forgotten, so you can float comfortably in emptiness, without obstruction.
If there is a God, He is within. You don't ask God to give you things, you depend on God for your inner theme.
The athlete who is building muscles through weight training should be very sure to work adequately on speed and flexibility at the same time. In combat, without the prior attributes, a strong man will be like the bull with its colossal strength, futilely pursuing the matador, or like a low-geared truck chasing a rabbit. Defeat is a state of mind. No one is ever defeated until defeat has been accepted as a reality. A fight is not won by one punch or kick. Either learn to endure or hire a bodyguard. The word superstar is an illusion. A goal is not always meant to be reached. It often serves simply as something to aim at. I'm not in this world to live up to your expectations, and you're not in this world to live up to mine. A good teacher protects his pupils from his own influences. Remember, no man is really defeated, unless he is discouraged.
Everything you do, if not in a relaxed state, will be done as a lesser level than you are proficient. Thus the tensed expert marksman will aim at a level less than his or her student.
If you want to learn to swim, jump into the water. On dry land, no frame of mind is ever going to help you. The great mistake is to anticipate the outcome of the engagement. You ought not to be thinking of whether it ends in victory or defeat. Let nature take its course, and your tools will strike at the right moment.
Be like water making its way through cracks. Do not be assertive but adjust to the object, and you shall find a way around or through it. If nothing within you stays rigid, outward things will disclose themselves. Empty your mind, be formless, shapeless like water. If you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle and it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend.
To me, the extraordinary aspect of martial arts lies in its simplicity. The easy way is also the right way. And martial arts is nothing at all special. The closer to the truth way of martial arts, the less wastage of expression there is.
One should be in harmony with, not in opposition to, the strength and force of the opposition. This means that one should do nothing that is not natural or spontaneous. The important thing is not to strain in any way.
Boards, don't hit back.
Life is never stagnation. It is constant movement, unrhythmic movement, as we is constant change. Things live by moving and gain strength as they go. Self-knowledge involves relationship. To know oneself is to study oneself in action with another person. Relationship is a process of self-evaluation and self-revelation. Relationship is the mirror in which you discover yourself. To be is to be related.
I am learning to understand, rather than immediately judge or to be judged. I cannot blindly follow the crowd, and accept their approach. I will not allow myself to indulge in the usual manipulating game of role creation. Fortunately for me, my self-knowledge has transcended that, and I have come to understand that life is best to be lived and not to be conceptualized. I am happy, because I am growing daily and I am honestly not knowing where the limit lies to be certain every day. There can be a revelation or a new discovery. I treasure the memory of the past misfortunes. It has added more to my bank of fortitude. Those who are unaware they are walking in darkness will never seek light.
If you don't want to slip up tomorrow, speak the truth today. All fixed set patterns are incapable of adaptability or pliability. The truth is outside of all fixed patterns.
Many people dedicate their lives to actualizing a concept of what should be like, rather than actualizing themselves. This difference between self-actualization and self-image actualization is very important. Most people live only for their image. The key to immortality is first living a life worth remembering.
Art is the way to the absolute and to the essence of human life. The aim of art is not the one-sided promotion of spirit, soul, and senses, but the opening of all human capacities, thought, feeling, will, to the life rhythm of the world of nature. So will the voiceless voice be heard and the self be brought into harmony with it. Empty your cup so that it may be filled. Become devoid to gain totality.
The possession of anything begins in the mind.
It's like a finger pointing away to the moon. Don't concentrate on the finger or you will miss all the heavenly glory.
I am not teaching you anything. I just help you to explore yourself.
If you always put limits on what you can do, physical or anything else, it'll spread over into the rest of your life. It'll spread into your work, into your morality, into your entire being. There are no limits. There are plateaus, but you must not stay there, you must go beyond them. If it kills you, it kills you. A man must constantly exceed his level. Time means a lot to me, because you see I am also a learner, and am often lost in the joy of forever developing. After all knowledge simply means self-knowledge.
It's not the daily increase but daily decrease. Hack away at the unessential.
What you habitually think, largely determines what you will ultimately become. What is more important than what should be. Too many people are looking at what is, from a position of thinking what should be.
But neither can you condemn nor justify and yet be extraordinarily alive as you walk on. You can never invite the wind, but you must leave the window open. Know the difference between a catastrophe and an inconvenience. To realize that it's just an inconvenience, that it is not a catastrophe, but just an unpleasantness, is part of coming into your own, part of waking up. Reality is apparent when one ceases to compare. There is what is only when there is no comparison at all, and to live with what is to be peaceful.